Thanks.
This is cool. I like this suit.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm a little uncomfortable.
It's a little tight. Welcome back. Congrats on your third season.
Thanks very much. It's funny, in the bio, there's this zoom in on my brother when they're saying my name, and it's like this thing where Greg's face shows up. And the other night at the hockey game, Hockey Night in Canada, they cut to my brother eating chicken wings. Allan Hawco and Allan Doyle, because Allan Doyle was standing next to him. My brother's like, stuffing chicken wings. And my name is underneath it. It's very funny.
Listen, we hate to tell you this, but your brother's going to be the star of the show.
Hey.
We're changing things up here a little bit.
I could use a break every now and then, so it'd be all right.
You know, if you think about how when you put the pilot together, it was apocalypse now type calamity that hit you guys. When you were making the first episode of season 3, is it easier?
Yeah, I mean, I think if someone told me all those years back how much I'd actually have to do as a showrunner, writer, producer, actor, I'd probably start to cry if I knew exactly what I had to go through. So the naivety of going through that process certainly helped me out, and getting that kind of practice. Our crew's gotten tighter. Our cast, of course, like our cast now speaks to us, in the writing room. We know what they're going to do, and we know how to delve into who they are. The actors are deciding the moments. It's really fascinating.
You're a young man, so as you grow and evolve as a person, is that becoming part of the character arc as well? Like, is some of your life turning into that?
Hopefully I won't get punched in the face as much, or I'd have some serious brain damage. No, I mean, yes, I think the evolution of Jake has been there for a long time. I mean, Perry Chafe and I, when we set out with this map, the roadmap of what the series would be, we had a 5-year plan. And Jake certainly evolves, and I think this year we start to see real hints of that evolution from the irresponsible boy to potentially, whenever the end of the series is, which I hope is not soon, right. Into a man. You know what I mean? And that's something that's really special.
With all the stuff that you have to do on the show too, and like you talked about the workload, you still do so many of your own stunts. Has anybody pulled you aside and said, you can't get hurt? If you get hurt, we're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, I'm my own boss, so who's going to stop me?
Well, but somebody's got to say, like when I started racing motorcycles, people on this team said, please don't do it until the end of the season. Because we need to work throughout the season. Yeah,
I have a wicked stunt double. His name is Zach Hawco.
But I heard you still do 90% of your own stunts.
I do, yeah, probably about 93% or whatever. But there was this one, I fly down over the hill in Petty Harbour in the GTO. McGinley's in the car next to me. And I fly down over the hill and I slam on the brakes and do a little sideways turn, jump out of the car and run. I was supposed to jump off the wharf in Petty Harbour onto a moving boat, which, T.J. Hooker did it. So I thought, he jumped from a helicopter onto the boat. I got to do this. So, Binks, who's James Binkley, who's our coordinator, was nervous about it. And he and I are very tight. He never lets me do anything he doesn't think I can do. I've been working with him for years in the theater. And I get out the car, man, and I'm running. And McGinley calls out to me as Malik, Jake, and I can see in his eyes, he's like, Alan, don't do this, man, don't do it. And I get to the wharf, and just before I'm about to jump, I stop, and I think, my computer's right over there with the script that we're about to shoot, the next script we're shooting, and no one has the passcode to my computer. I thought, man, if I get hurt, how are we going to prep the episode properly? That's what I was thinking about. Not the fact that I'm in every scene in the next episode and that I'm the producer and all that kind of stuff. That's what was going through my mind. So I stopped, and Zach, the professional stuntman, did the jump, and came over to me after and said, well, you will break your ribs if you do that. I did.
Look, here's the thing. I now, as it's evidence, I'm not your therapist, but it does say something about where your head is at, that's what you thought of, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you got so much going on. It's a great thing for an actor to have that many distractions. To be writing and producing and, approving music cues and doing the edits. And it's the greatest thing. It's probably been the best lesson for me as an actor, is to take your mind off what's in your own head and just focus on your action. It's great. And as an actor, I'm writing every episode, so I have all the backstory. It's a dream job, man.
Yeah, I can imagine it is. And also get to do it at home, which is still something we talked about last time, but it continues. You get to do it at home and you get to tell stories from home.
Yeah, and I get the greatest people, the greatest people in the world working with me.
I mean, explain one thing to me, because I wasn't sure if you were going to carry it on in season 3, but in the very first episode, you had your Team Jacob moment once again. Can we just play this clip here? Like, and completely out of nowhere, all of a sudden I'm watching the show and then this happens.
All units, be on the
So there it is.
Sergeant Jake Doyle.
Listen, I've worked in TV long enough to know that you didn't have to have your T-shirt off. It's a choice. Hold on. And look, I'm not saying it was the wrong choice, because the way my Twitter feed blows up with these women going, "Oh my God," now I know why, and at least 10% of the men react that way too. So,
I'll take them. They watch the show.
But that topless thing has become. Do you have to put it in there now? Is it your moment?
You know, it's, you know, I'm on TV. It's a drama with a guy. It's not. I know I look like that, but I don't really look like that. If I had any say in it, I'd never look like that.
Really?
I'd be covered in gelatin, chicken wing, Guinness. You know, it's like that's the most disgusting thing I've ever said.
You were so. There is. Oh, I'm sure you've thought worse, but there is no way that one person can stay ripped that long. Do you just shoot all your scenes on one day for the whole season and then just go back to that chicken wings guy?
Yeah, well, sort of. Well, it's funny that scene was a holdover. We had to do a thing where Jake. I don't want to give too much away, but there's a thing where Jake comes back to Jake in a moment, and we just couldn't do it, you know, because the schedule for whatever reason didn't work. So we had to hold that scene. And so normally you try to get rid of that stuff early.
Yeah.
You know, you got all kinds of prep time where you're working out every morning, and you just got to stop at a certain point. But we had to hold that scene until episode 7. We had to shoot that scene.
So you had to stay fit.
I had to stay in shape, man. You know, I'm not complaining. It's just I'm already working 18 hours a day, so you gotta go to the gym every morning. But whatever. I play hockey every night. That's my cardio, and it's
every night.
Like probably about 8 hours a week or whatever.
Right, stick around. We're going to get into that a little bit as well, and we'll do some authentic Newfoundland slang with Allan Hawco right after this.
The Doyle Hockey League plays one game a week while the show is in production. The DHL has its own rule book, but there's only one rule that matters.
Don't hurt me or Mark O'Brien.
O'Brien plays Des, Doyle's sidekick, sometimes even when they're on the ice.
There's some people who, yeah, if they come by even for...
You were saying that?
I said Allan is the best player on the ice, and I can't remember the question.
You've got Russell Crowe in this episode, and I love the reveal of him. We won't say how, but it's a nice reveal. Just getting Russell Crowe on the show, that's got to be quite a deal.
Yeah. That was pretty cool. That was like, that was one of the greatest things, you know, to be able to sit across. You do it all the time, brilliantly, I might add, but it's very intimidating to sit across someone with such talent, and you know, you don't want to mess it up either, right? You want to be able to think, hey, I'm working like any other actor he'd work with. And then later I got to watch in post-production as I'm editing the episode to look at the comparison between what Russell's doing and what I'm doing. It was like a masterclass in acting.
What did you learn? What's the key difference?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I think the thing that I'm always striving toward is to just give her. Just give her. As soon as they call action, just give her. Be in the moment. Listen. It's what, you know, it's not unlike what we're doing now, but you listen and you just kind of give your all. Don't ever phone it in. And Russell, man, he's one of the best actors alive, you know, and that's a pretty intimidating thing. And for him to come to Newfoundland and do that show with us and to play with us like that, very generous.
The one thing I really like about your show, and it's really different from almost every other cop or crime or detective show, especially in this era. We live in an era where all those shows focus on usually a brutal crime, and it's almost always directed at women. There's an entire show dedicated to rape in SVU, right, or those kind of crimes. So you have shows that, in the detective space, there's a lot of that. Your show doesn't really. I mean, your show has some beats, and there's some dropping from bridges, and there's some violence, but it seems to be differently focused. Is that intentional?
Oh, absolutely. You know, it's funny because that's sort of the drive, is to bring, you know, entertainment and positivity to the screen. Because even our bad guys, at the end of the day, they're all just misunderstood. You know, they're all just trying their best to get there. You know, we never really wanted to present a situation where there's shows out there, like you say, that just present dead 16-year-old girls. And it's like, that's not something I want to promote in this world. I want to sort of try to bring some positivity while we're doing this thing. And it, you know, it's fun. Everybody, it's a fun, we're PIs in Newfoundland driving a GTO. If we try to take ourselves too seriously, I'd look like a moron. I already do, you know. I gotta hide from that stuff.
All right, I want you to share some some favorite Newfoundland slang terms and expressions for us. And then I want, because I've been to Newfoundland, I love it. I've been to Labrador as well.
Yeah.
Very different.
Very different place, yeah.
But give me a slang term, because I was watching the show today, and there's this moment where you start talking to Russell Crowe in the parking lot, where it suddenly turns into Noofs talking. And it was like, where are the subtitles? Where are the subtitles? So give me some.
Okay, well, I'll start easy.
Yeah.
The simplest one, my personal favorite is, people seem to have a lot of difficulty with it, is what are you at?
What are you at?
So what are you at?
Meaning what I mean?
No, this is a good one. What do you think it means?
What are you at? What are you getting at?
George?
Yes?
What are you at?
I'm at home. Where am I? Is that what it is?
Okay, the correct response would be simple. It's, no matter what you're doing, you say, this is it.
This is it. Is that like, how are you, fine?
No, yeah, of course, sort of, but it's a little, and if you add the nod, right, what are you at? It's a common phrase. I don't care what anyone says. I use it all the time. I use it every day. Allan Doyle wrote a song about it.
Yeah.
It means, what are you doing?
Okay.
It's simple. What are you at? What are you at?
Yeah.
What are you at right now?
This is it.
This is it.
All right, what are
And
you at?
If you were building a house, you also might respond, nothing. And you could be squaring a house, man, working your guts out. But that's what you're doing. That's not what you're doing. I
All right,
guess.
so what are you at? This is it.
Yeah, that's the one. Number two, which is, I think, a famous one, right?
Yeah.
This is a famous one. I'm ashamed to even bring it up, but, you know, stay where you're at.
Yeah. Stay where you're at. That's
So,
famous?
Stay where you're at till it comes where you're to.
Okay. Really? That's crazy talk right there.
Yeah.
Guys, okay, stay where you're at till I...
It's just stay where you're at till it comes where you're to.
On my way?
No, stay where you're at till it comes where you're to.
No, I understand. Stay where... What does that mean?
That means stay where you're at.
Yes.
Till I comes where you're at.
Meaning I'll be there.
Yeah.
I'll
Stay
be there.
till I get over to where you're to.
You mean it...
What's wrong with you, George?
But do you mean physically, or do you mean intellectually? I'm on your same page? What do you mean?
I don't know what's wrong with you, man. Yeah, stay where you're standing till I comes over to where you're standing.
Right. Okay. Cool. All right. I want to go there. This is a gibberish. I love it. What's next?
This is my favorite one, hands down, because it doesn't make any sense in any way, but it makes so much sense to all of us. Okay. What's after happening now?
What's after happening now? It's now using my small, big city brain. I think that means, what are we doing next?
Right? You're small, big city brain. You're an intelligent guy. It probably makes a lot of sense. But what's after happening now means,
Yes.
what just happened?
What's after happening?
What just happened? And then you add the now for this time.
Okay.
What just happened this time? So if I walked into the room and you and the audience were in a big scuff, and you offended them with your,
Happens every day.
Yeah. And I would come in and I'd be like, boys, what's after happening now? Everything was going so well. Your monologue was so great. They were all laughing, and now you got them all upset.
Yeah. And that makes sense.
Yeah.
You can hear more of that. Republic of Doyle, don't miss it. It's Wednesday, 9 o'clock and 9:30 in Newfoundland and Labrador. Well, Newfoundland. Allan Hawco, everybody.